What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. This is Sports Scope. You're watching on the 19th day of May. I know we got a really big basketball game coming up here in just a little bit between Boston, game 2 between Boston and Miami. We've got Carlos Mad New Yorker Chavez backstage. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs. I'm aware of the death of the great Jim Brown. Maybe comment on that a little bit. Also, I was going to ask Carlos about the 2 New York baseball teams, talk a little Major League Baseball and more. We'll be back here in 49 seconds. We'll take our only break here. We'll be back hitting the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to Sports, that is Sports with an S, another S, Scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. Righty then, we're back here live on All Leagues. Hey, Carlos, man, good to see you. Man, you are one reliable dude, brother. Welcome to the program. Thank you for coming in. Quick take. For the audience, I'm going to go in more on Jim Brown life and a detailed opinion on Monday's program. The guy always looked the same to me. I didn't know he was 87. Whether you watched him, and obviously he retired in 1965, running back, went into acting in the 70s, 90s, Original Gangsters. You remember that? I'm Going to Get You, Sucker, comedies, activist work. Really good guy. There's a lot more I want to go into Monday, but had a whole show planned. What's your thoughts on Jim Brown, man?
Yo, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I put a little note on my, on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Just keep running over dudes up there and making understand who you are. I like that he was the original
OG
because he told how it was. He didn't act like he wasn't somebody different. He didn't act like he had that much money, or he didn't put money above his namesake. So everybody need to thank him, because the NFL, would be a different world if he wasn't, part of it. So
yeah,
it's sad, but who knows what he was going through? Who knows how he was suffering? COVID.
I didn't think he was 87. Did you think he was that old?
No, man. But
yeah,
it was a little bit after. I would say about in the early 2000s, where he just started going away and doing less movies, and then he went away from doing less appearances and things like that. And then even when COVID hit, there was some kind of rumblings about his health, and him staying like away from people and things like that. So we didn't grow up with him as a football player or watching him on TV. Others have. A lot of people seen him play live and say great things about him, when and how he looked on the field. 10 times better than some of the players that he played against. So, we didn't get to see all that, maybe on film, but we didn't see it live. And so it's tough though, because he was a legend. When we were growing up, he was already a legend. So
yes,
it's, prayers to his family and friends. And, we got to thank God for bringing him someone like that on earth.
I love Jim Brown, man. Good dude. Okay, switching gears to the round ball, like Jim Carrey would say in The Cable Guy. Now, last night's game, you sent me a text. I bet you couldn't believe I was up that late watching that game. Both games, by the way.
Robert, I didn't care whether you were up or not.
Yeah. I'm sure you were surprised that I answered. You can always text me, dude, because my phone, after 4:00 Eastern time or 4:15 Eastern time, it goes on silent because, I'm a carrier at a day job.
Right, no.
It rings it rings like nobody's business. I turn it on silent, so it's okay, dude. I was watching the game, very exciting game. I actually thought the Lakers may come out and win this one, but here's the interesting stat for you. Jamal Murray. Listen to this. The Lakers in the final 10 minutes, the Lakers had 22 points. Jamal Murray by himself had 23. 6 for 7. He outshot the Lakers 86% to 47.
Yo, let me tell you something.
I mean, 4 for 5 from 3. I mean, he got red hot, man.
If you all have missed the game and you are around our age, this is a Reggie Miller type of shooting.
Reggie Miller, Isaiah Thomas could play like this.
No, man. This was like last countdown on the clock. Last pass, grab and shoot, and make like this was Reggie Miller.
95, yeah.
I don't like to make comparisons, but as far as having that trigger and just letting it fly and knowing that it was gonna go in, that's the best part. Like he shot it, he turned around, he's like, bro, I got it, money. And you just hear the crowd just as soon as it went in, right? You could just hear the crowd explode because that's how quiet it got. Because his shots were not lined up like any other player I've ever I see the last person I've ever seen shoot like that off, to the side and still make it is Reggie Miller. Now Ray Allen, we've seen is one of the best purest shooters, but most of his shots were pretty much set up, right?
Yeah.
This was like running and shooting behind the three, like he had like 3.
And they were perfect rips too.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, at first I was kind of like down because Denver. They weren't doing much the first
right.
half.
Well, they were down by 11 points at one time.
Yeah. And
I thought Lakers going to get this game, man.
Yeah, I saw Joker. He was like, he didn't he gave Anthony Davis a little bit of space. And I was kind of weirded out about that. I'm like, why is he giving him space? Anthony Davis even shot a 3-pointer, right? So I was like kind of worried. I'm like, oh no, the Lakers going to like just put it on them like nothing. And man, this the fourth quarter is was like another game. Bro, it looked like it was like a video game,
Chad makes a good point, Carlos. LeBron, this is what I predicted. I said that LeBron and AD fatigue is going to catch, particularly, Jason McIntyre made a good point last night or this morning when I was listening to him. He's with Fox Sports. He said, didn't you notice LeBron when he hurt his ankle in air quotes in the fourth quarter, he took time to retie both of his shoes to conserve energy. He's running on fumes. He's fatigued. I mean, he's human. He's 38 years old. That's why he missed that dunk. Chad, you can't blame it all on the altitude. He was tired.
No. Well, if you're 38, if you're 38 and you're in that altitude, you feel it. Like, so okay. I'm not sure if it was fatigue more than it was just like him trying to carry the team. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying really hard to carry the team. Yeah. And usually what happens is that, and he even mentions this, he's like, usually, I'll let the team do what they need to do, and then I'll kind of just flow in the mix. But he saw the time ticking. He saw Murray was just making shot after shot. And then Jokic was just getting in rebounds and getting those passes in.
Yes.
And I think he felt like he wanted to take the team over. And he hasn't been that kind of LeBron since the beginning of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. So
because he's running out of gas.
Well, I mean,
it's like the push lawnmower. When you're mowing the yard, when I don't know how was the last time when you're in Clarksville, Tennessee, and New York, you probably had to have to mow a yard. When you when it's low on gas and you keep hitting that primer and it's boom, 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 and then usually it comes right on. Sometimes it don't. You got to get something else looked at. The lawnmower. This is that LeBron is that lawnmower. The primer's not even working right now.
I mean, well, he is 30 years
old. Same thing with Anthony Davis, who's naturally,
how many players have been in a championship at the age of 38 and they played like they were 26?
It's not. Yeah, I'm not dogging him out. This is called reality.
Right? Yeah, no,
and for a guy of his status, and
like when that kid came out, he looked like he was on another level.
Murray,
I forget his name, but for the Lakers, he shot.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, Austin Reeves came out and he shot out like a rock. He kind of looked like, he shot out like a cannon, and I was like, "Where's this kid been the whole game?"
Hey, a rural Arkansas guy's nickname's Hillbilly Kobe.
You know, he kind of. I was like, man, this guy he could pick up the whole team. And you know what they did?
Yeah.
They brought in LeBron again, and I'm like,
is another guy that's played well for their bench too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and he kind of, he kind of looks like a young Odakupo, man. Like, he's in there and just trying to do his work a game inside.
Yeah.
He don't care. He's just trying. And that looked like Giannis when he first came up, right? So
yeah,
these two kids, if I'm the coach, I'll tell LeBron, you could be in the game, but these two are the ones that need to score 20 plus points, right?
Well, yeah, in game 3, I expect them to shoot the light. They're going to have to lean on Rowe and Hillbilly Kobe, and I think they will in game 3. It's game 4. If you're a Laker fan, that's what you need to worry about. Do game 3 is tomorrow. It's not Sunday.
I'm looking around just like Ham on my roster, and I'm like, Schroeder's not giving me anything. No. Russell's like, he's just wearing a Lakers jersey. I mean, he's just showing up just to be on the bench.
I read they're running plays at Russell.
And I'm like,
exactly. Running plays at Russell.
And they are. If you watch basketball, you just like push it on that side because he's just kind of running up and down the court. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he hasn't had a show up game all this playoffs, and he's usually one of those
guys will show up once they get home tomorrow.
Yeah, but look, it don't matter whether you're at home or away, man. This is the playoffs, man. You got to turn it up and turn it loose, man. You got to let it go.
I had Denver in 6. How do you see this thing playing out?
Okay, so if Murray stays comfortable, right. If Schroeder and Russell don't put in any kind of Vanderbilt, these guys, they don't do anything. Because Jokic didn't even score that much last night. Think about that.
No, I don't think he done anything.
He got a triple double, but he got rebounds and assists. Yeah. And he barely got that triple double. So that's dangerous, man. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they'll go 6, bro. I don't.
Wow. That's a good point. I don't know if it can go. I don't know if the Lakers can win game 4. Game 3, I'll tell you right now, I think the Lakers will blow them out in game 3. That's tomorrow night. Hillbilly Kobe, what's that other guy's? Lonnie Walker, the 4th. They'll shoot the ball well. Rowe, they'll shoot the ball well. But LeBron, Anthony Davis, they still out-rebounded the Lakers again. The Lakers do get they did beat them in free throw attempts. That's the only stat the Lakers won this game.
Here's a problem, and the problem is this: the Denver Nuggets are a young team, considerably speaking. The average young team, and they were down 11 points to the Lakers with King James on the team. Now they have this in their mind that they could be down by 10, they could be down by 8, they could be down by 9, and they will catch back up. That's a dangerous team to play. And I say this because the last series where the Knicks were down, they saw that they could catch up with the Heat. They were scrapping. Yeah. Right. So that mentality, first and foremost, even though you can get that mentality, you still gotta go. You still have to play over that hump. You still got to get over that hump and beat the teams. But that mentality is that's not good. You don't want that. You don't want your opponent to feel like they can get you.
Well, that was in Denver. I mean,
like the Lakers had an 11-point lead. Yeah. Right. And then in the fourth quarter, when Murray hit the first 2, I was like, interesting game. When he hit 4 in a row, I was like, this guy.
I know they went from being down by 11 to up by 12.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's Reggie Miller, right? Yeah. Reggie Miller hit them 3 3-pointers in a minute and a half, and I was like, this kid. It wasn't now the time frame wasn't that close.
Right.
But still, like, just the idea and the concept, like, they're gonna catch up.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, 1990. Dude, I watched that Reggie Miller game live. I was in my mom's house. I mean, I remember exactly where I was in my room.
You know what I'm talking about, it, man.
I was about to go outside and go play basketball. Thought the game was over. I thought the Knicks had it. And then Reggie pulls that off, and you could hear a pin drop up there in Madison Square Garden.
Look, them Laker fans was choking on that thing there in Denver. Now they get to come home and cheer on bring out all the celebrities and the pop stars, Kardashians and all their kids.
It'll be popping tomorrow night.
But look, I'm gonna tell you something. The Staples Center isn't the best friend of any LA team. So
Yeah.
it might look nice, but it's not. It's not like, imagine this: the Lakers won a championship in Orlando with LeBron James before they'd won anything with LeBron James at LA. So think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everybody else was picking the Lakers. Like I said, I thought Denver would win this in 6, and maybe it's 5. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Denver's definitely, if everybody stays healthy, Denver's going to win this series.
Yeah, there was a lot of commentary this morning, a lot of sports networks here in New York, and the media was going rampant and crazy. And like, the media is always, and they've been saying this, that the media has been, because LeBron's on the Lakers, they don't talk much about Denver. Well, Denver's been the best team this year. They've had the best record
Mike Malone,
this year.
the coach, said that, and I agree with him.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm just thinking, hey, the Lakers are the ones who have to play better, not Denver.
Right.
So and their coach, he got a good little head on his shoulders, because he was like, let me see, I feel that the Lakers are trying to make a run, in the fourth quarter, and he was like, let's call a timeout, let's get settled down. Joke is just like, man, I'm not shooting well, or I don't know what he said, but everybody else, whoever he gave the ball to, almost everybody he gave the ball to scored.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he does a lot when he's not scoring. He sets that high pick screen. He's constantly trying to set the screen. He's constantly. He's kind of like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope said. Hey, listen, man. Only thing different between him and LeBron can jump a little higher. But other than that, this guy's like LeBron as far as his court vision and everything.
You know who he reminds me a lot of? If Magic Johnson and Charles Barkley had a baby, that's their child.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Because
Sabonis, the dad, not the son. Sabonis used to play for Portland Trailblazers. Bill Walton's for a time, but I've seen a lot of Bill Walton highlights.
No, it's just that greediness that Charles Barkley had for his height, right?
Yeah.
Like he was
Barkley played a lot bigger than 6'4". He played like he was 6'8".
And nobody ever gave him credit, but he could jump.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley he out jumped half the people he jumped with. And he didn't care. He had no fear. And
he was a big 6'4".
Yeah, I feel like he's so underrated sometimes. I feel bad for him because he hasn't got a championship. And it's like he was a great player in our time, and I don't expect young bucks to understand what kind of player Charles Barkley was, but
I think Barkley won MVP. 93 was his year, man. Year with the Suns. Yeah,
I don't know what basketball he was watching. Every year was his year. And it didn't
matter.
Well,
he was good with Philadelphia, but he got too big with Houston. I think he was fat and out of shape there. But his Phoenix years were really money.
When he moved to Phoenix, and he had Dan Marley and Danny Ainge and
Kevin Johnson.
What's the guy with the glasses? He was cool too. Shays.
Oh yeah.
And then the other guy, Carr, or no, was it Carr? Antonio Carr? Well, anyways, it don't matter. That team was. That team
well, was win,
That team was it was fun to watch, but
yeah, they were fun to watch. I actually thought that they was going to win. Yeah. Switching gears, do you think Miami's going to win this other series, or was that a fluke? What's your thoughts on Boston and Miami, man?
Boston. I mean, we was talking about this yesterday on your show. I was texting you.
Yeah.
The consistent at being inconsistent.
Oh, Chad says Kurt Rambis. Is that who you was talking about?
Rambis? No.
No, that's Lakers, Chad.
That's Lakers, yeah.
Not unless he played for Phoenix.
I don't know if he did. But them Celtics, they need to, you know what it is? I sometimes feel like Tatum could control and take over the game, but I feel like he wants to be like LeBron. Let everybody try to play, and then I'll play through them. And you can't set a tone like that if you don't. You just got to go and attack, and you just got to play basketball.
Yeah, where does he get this timidness from?
Yeah, you just got to let the game.
He went to Duke. Maybe he says somebody mentioned this. I think it was Catino Mobley was in an interview. He said, "I think this guy's overthinking the room. He went to Duke. He's really smart. You just wonder if he's overthinking. He's got some A-Rod in him, man. A-Rod used to do that in the playoffs a lot for the Yankees.
Yeah, just because you know what it is. It's like you could take the game over. Like you're good, right? And the thing about being good is that you never reach greatness if you think you're gonna be great. You gotta do great, right? if you think you're going to be great, you're not going to get there because what happens is
I think they'll play well tonight. Here's one stat for the Boston Celtics fans that I did want to reiterate on. Darren Ravel put this out the other day. I'm going to read this again. When tonight's Celtics lost the other night, teams that have played in a game 7 are now 33 and 53.
Yeah.
38% winning percentage straight up in the next round of a game 1. So, but it's their fault that they went game 7 against Philadelphia because they gave up game 1, totally checked out. Remember, Harden had that 40-something points.
Right.
So the Celtics have nobody to blame but themselves, and it's that coach. He's not the guy. I don't know. I feel like that Denver team's probably the best team left out of the Final Four. I was 100% on Boston. I can't trust Boston, man.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing with Boston, and again, I'm gonna go with.
Pickles does say he was on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There was Rambus.
Y'all got me wanting to look up the '93 Phoenix Suns roster now.
Kevin Johnson and all them cats.
Remember he had them cool shoes too. The purple and blacks, those were hip, man. Those jerseys were hip back in them days.
Everybody, that was one of the best-selling jerseys, I think.
They were hot, man, for real. Danny Ainge. Speaking of Danny Ainge, he was on that team.
Yeah. So no, I think with Boston is that I think they're gonna catch. They're gonna smell a little bit of the stank, and they're gonna want to get rid of it. I think those guys are young. They actually have a good nucleus, a good core going there, and I think even if you look on paper, I think they have a better squad than Miami. Miami's just they're playing out of their minds, right? They're playing because they want to get to a championship. So that's what Boston has to turn it up. They gotta play like today's the last game they'll ever play every single game. And I think that's where where you say that overthinking and the whole process of Tatum is. I don't like it that he turns it up in the third and fourth quarter. It's great to see. I want to see him do that the whole game. There's been maybe
the game starts in 10 minutes, dude. That's when you need to bring it, brother.
Yeah. So I think we've seen it maybe if you've been watching the games, 2 games in the whole playoffs that he's done that where he's you're just like, wow, this guy carries Boston, and then all of a sudden you kind of just see him like, he might just don't want to be the man. He might want to just be the man, but don't want to be the man on the court so that everybody can get theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of that happens in the NBA and some of these teams. It's like, I don't want to be the guy, but I am the guy. But here you can.
Chris Webber was that guy. Scared to death to take the big shot.
Kevin Durant when he played for the Sonics / OKC. First 2 or 3 years, he was the best guy on the team, but he wasn't going to step over Westbrook or Harden, and he wasn't going to, but you knew he was the best player on the team, right? And I think that just happens because there's nobody older and they're all about the same age. Their core is all about the same age almost, right? So you got to respect them, and there's no elder. So, and you don't want it to be about the paychecks because then nobody wants to play on that team, right? So,
right, man. So, I thought about this the other day, and you may have heard me mention this on the show. There's no championship guys on that Boston roster. Kyle Lowry, he might be 37 years old, but he's got a ring in his pocket. Yeah. Kevin Love, he's got a ring in his pocket from 16 with the Cavs. He's 34, both past their prime, but they know what it's like to get to the promised land. They know what they have to bring. Mm-hmm. And these young Duncan Robertson, Strauss. Who's that guy? I don't even know who Strauss is, but he's out there.
Shoot a 3 in your eye, though. You better careful not knowing.
Bam is playing up to his potential that we thought he was going to do. And Jimmy Butler is always playing like.
Okay, so here we go.
He's always playing the same,
That's the name. That's the name. Do you think Jimmy Butler is a superstar, or do you think he's just an all-star playing like a superstar? Can he carry? Carry?
That he may just be. I think the second thing you say. I think the media likes to hyperventilate, and I guess technically I'm part of the media, right? But I think he's an all-star playing like a superstar right now.
Right.
I just do. I haven't seen this before. I think the team has had a good culture. and all that good stuff. But we seen him with Minnesota. We seen him with Chicago, and he was just fine,
Right.
So I'm like you. I don't know if I'm going to put him better than Tatum. Some people are saying that now.
No, and you know what I like about Butler is that he's not overthinking anything. He's just playing basketball right now.
Right.
So the thing is that he's just playing basketball, and he knows that they're a couple players short, right?
Yeah.
He knows that. So he has to just play ball and try to do – he says it too. Man, I'm just trying to go out there and do the best I can because, we ain't promised tomorrow. He says
Pickle
stuff like
says
that.
He is a superstar.
Maybe
he's developed into that guy, but
I've heard newspapers calling him a god, like godlike, and I'm like, whoa,
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see the consistency from Butler. Maybe because the team is just not that talented, and they're playing over their head.
Against the Knicks, that's what it was.
Right. I just, I've liked Butler, but I haven't seen that level of him.
Okay,
consistently. They're an 8 seed for a reason, right?
Right. If you had to choose between Steph Curry or Butler, who would you pick on your team?
I mean, Steph Curry has got more of a proven track record as a consistent shooter.
If you had to choose between Giannis and Butler, who would you choose?
Giannis, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're going to go down the list of the top 10 players, Butler might end up 7, 8, or 9.
Right. Joker. Now, Kevin Durant, 34? I don't know. I'd probably still take Anthony Davis over Butler. Anthony's better. He's more deadly inside.
Embiid and Anthony Davis, I feel, are like 6 and 7 if they could stay healthy.
And I would take Anthony Davis. He's had more of a proven track record.
So
Embiid is just he is way too inconsistent. He's hurt more in the playoffs than Anthony Davis is.
I mean, he's hurt now.
Oh, Pickle says Curry easily. I mean, Curry. When you think you got Curry, that's when he'd kill. I mean, Curry's like what Jamal Murray did last night.
Yeah.
You could hold Curry down, and then pop. He's hit 3 threes. He has his Reggie Miller moments. Of course, he's better than Reggie Miller.
No. I would never say that Steph Curry and Reggie Miller, I would never compare them, ever.
Miller's a bigger player, but Curry's a better pure shooter, number one.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about shooting –
just shooting, not defending and everything.
Right.
Steph Curry's not a good defender. I don't know why people don't want to argue with me about that. All the numbers say he's not a good defender.
No, he'll run up and down the court, but he ain't gonna,
He might catch a steal every now and then, but you run plays at him.
And you know what it is, Robert? I think
Kurt Rambis was on that team, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Chad. He was on the bench, but Kurt Rambis hung around the NBA he was like Vadi Diva. He hung around the NBA for 20 years.
No, you know who did that was Spider-Man.
Who's that?
John Sally.
John Sally, Robert Parrish hung around forever. LeBron's hanging around forever.
Yeah, I mean, those you get older,
Yeah, Pickle says what you do under pressure. Now, Jimmy Butler's got a great story. He was homeless at one time. He's a very hardcore driven guy. I thought it was a good fit, him in Miami.
Right.
But guys, Miami, I mean, they won 44 games for a reason this year. They went in scored slumps. You can't just judge them on now. You're just judging. I mean, it's, it is what it is.
And I said my piece this morning about Lowry and what I thought about him and how he's a key factor for Miami in the playoffs. And again,
Pickle says, the Chief played. That was his nickname. 20 years.
He played like.
I remember this stuff. It was like that was years ago, man.
Woo, let me tell you,
we're talking 30 years ago. I think when he retired.
Yeah. So the thing with Lowry is like that's the guy that turns it up because he knows he has to turn it up, and even though he's older, the way he turns it up are doing the small things.
Yeah.
The basketball-minded things, the picks, the open shots, the steals, the going for the rebound when nobody else is. And he ain't gonna run up and down and be like Westbrook, because he don't have that kind of those kind of legs anymore.
No.
But he knows who he is, and he also knows what he has to do. And if a guy like that ends up winning an NBA championship, kudos because he deserves it, And I said that this morning with Keith,
I
Are you
still
serious?
think Boston will probably figure it out.
I think Boston will eventually. Their legs will come alive.
Yeah,
They'll run. They'll run
I think they'll
Miami
win
out.
big tonight. They'll probably win big tonight.
Yeah, they gotta.
Yeah.
As long as they play their style and they figure it out, I think they can manhandle Miami.
Yeah.
And Miami doesn't have any depth. You know, they got shooters.
Lowry's 37 years old. He's another dinosaur out there.
Look, Miami's got shooters to keep them in the game. The problem is how much do they have to be in front of a team? You know, and that's the problem.
You feel like some of those players, it's going to turn midnight eventually for them.
Eventually, they're gonna miss. You can't live by the three, man. That's a proven fact.
Well, I mean, that's why Atlanta beat them. But I saw this last year with Atlanta or Miami the year before that when they got beat. But they're like Freddie Krueger. They're never going to give in to you. They'll fight you to the end.
I say this: if you can let Butler score 40 points, it don't matter. As long as Adebayo and some of those other guys stay under 20 points, the Celtics can beat them and probably can even cover the spread if somebody's betting on them. Now, I wouldn't bet on them, you know, but
right. Yeah, Bam, you're right. Bam has to play. For them to win this series, he's going to have to play like he did game one every single night. Every single night.
I don't see that happening.
His plus minus was 18. It was better than all of the Celtics players. And Coach is right for the Celtics. They did win 3 of the 4 quarters, but they got destroyed in the third quarter.
He should have better than the Towel Boy. Even the Towel Boy missed a few players there.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So you're like me. You're frustrated, but you still think Boston will probably win that thing.
They got the most opportunity with the talent and the depth. So
do you think Boston's the best team left, or you think Denver is?
I think the best team has proven themselves to be the best team this whole year, and that's Denver right now.
Okay.
And
yeah, me too.
You know, we can't go outside of what the reality is, right?
Yeah. I think Denver, and there's a reason why Vegas has got them favored now to win it. The whole thing now.
Until you get beat, then you should be the top, right?
Yeah. I mean, Boston's got a better regular season record, but they haven't played like a number 2 seed. They played like a team that's not really sure of themselves.
Yeah.
They playing like a 4 seed, you know. But that means no, never mind. Hey, what'd you think about the Spurs getting Victor Wembanyama? Do you think that'll keep Greg Popovich there for a few more years? He's like 74 years old, man.
Well,
you think that's going to give him life like Gus D'Amato finding Mike Tyson?
Have you seen this kid play?
Yeah, he's very coordinated for 7'2" plus.
Very small though.
He's frail thin. Yes,
he kind of reminds me of a young Durant in college, at University of Texas. Just kind of like you like looking at him like, is that kid gonna be able to take a hit? And then all of a sudden you see him quick and you see him, his basketball IQ. You see him pass and you're like, whoa. And I'm not saying he's going to be Kevin Durant because nobody ever knows.
It's hard to.
The potential's there. The ability that he has is there. He plays European basketball, so he's going to be a little bit better.
He did play professional leagues. Now, he looks frail, but they're physical in those European teams. We saw that. Look how Luka's playing.
Yeah.
Luka's played pretty well.
I could maybe see him be kind of like Dirk, where it took Dirk about 3 or 4 years to kind of get into the groove. And Dirk was small.
That's me. I'm thinking 3-4 years.
Yeah,
but I think they should limit his gameplay and his minutes and stuff.
That's the thing. The NBA has this G League. I don't know if you dump him in the G League, if that's even worth it.
I doubt if they'll do that.
You know, like
not with this level of prospect.
Yeah, the problem is you play him right away against a now older Giannis. He's gonna get smacked down, bro. Or even Joker. Like they're gonna smack him around.
People says Kareem was real thin out of UCL. I mean, Durant looked like one of those Kenyan runners. I mean, I thought Durant was not going to make it. He was
me too.
Out of Texas, man.
In Seattle, the jersey looked like it was going to eat him up.
The jersey looked like it was, and Durant turned out to be Durant. You know,
and you know that number 40 looked like it was just 4 because the 0 was disappearing on.
Do you think Popovich this is going to inspire him to, or there's been rumors he's going to retire after like 1 year, no matter what, but.
I'm glad that he went back to the European well or the international well to dig up players because, you know, after the whole thing with I told you about Leonard. The team went on skids.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
and
Leonard just didn't want to play under for him no more. He just didn't want to deal with it.
So I think this is good for him. He gets people. He's gonna get maybe a couple more international players as well.
Yeah.
So you want people that want to play basketball. That he's a very technical coach, man. So
yeah.
He wants to see passing. He wants to see movement. He wants to see basketball play, not basketball players playing. So there's a difference with the way he coaches, and it does work. The only problem is the players need to make it work. So he went with this young guy so that people can kind of follow him and put some support around him, and I think they'll be okay. But he might just have 2 or 3 more seasons, man. It's a very different time for basketball. It's a different game.
Well, he is 74. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. He might just bring Tim Duncan in, and they might just make him the coach.
And you're right, Pickles. He's had Boris Diaw. He's had a lot of success with the form. Parker was from France also. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to just to see the develop of Wembanyama. Even if assistant takes over after, like you said, 2 years, the Spurs assistants have fared pretty well. Ime, personal problems aside, Ime Udoka, who's the coach now at Houston, the guy seems to be a pretty good coach.
They might bring Becca back. Becca, she's a good coach. She was a good coach.
Who? Becky Hammond.
Yeah.
Well, they have a good program down there. I'm sure Duncan still helps out. Last I checked, he was an assistant there, Tim Duncan. Not unless that's changed. Duncan will help him. He's going to have, I'm sure David Robertson's going to help this guy out with his footwork. He's going to get the best schooling. I'm so glad he didn't go to Detroit or Orlando. God.
I mean,
you never hear from this guy again,
I was
going to tell my man Freddie from Detroit, no offense, man, but God, I didn't want him to go up there. You guys have a different coach every other year. You don't know who the general manager is.
I keep telling you guys, it's hard to be in the professional, first tier teams here in the United States. The way sports is set up and develop players, man. If you're not playing, you don't get any. You don't get what you need firsthand. The moment you come out of school or you get recruited into the team, it's kind of like it's almost like a 60% chance that you're not making it at all as a professional and playing for more than 2 or 3 years. So
ideally, you'd like for him to go 4 years under Mike Krzyzewski, then go to.
Yeah, but even that's not
San Antonio.
You do college in the U.S. and any of the top conferences doesn't guarantee you to be a better or even better basketball player.
Well, if you get good coaching, I disagree. I think if you get good coaching, I think it helps.
Well, how many Duke players are in the championship running right now?
I just mentioned that Tatum was a Duke player.
Okay, it's one.
Yeah, Kyrie played for Duke. I mean, come on, man.
Well, Kyrie's not in the playoffs.
Well, not at right now.
I'm talking about how many
all time.
If we had made a list of UNC,
I don't know. It's a bunch of them, dude. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, and then there would be the ones that probably stayed for 2+ years.
I get you. Yeah. No, it's a good point, man. It's a good point. Not everybody's going to be Jordan.
I think that's a problem, right? With people's like we like, we already calling him the next Tim Duncan, and
it's an international game now. You're right, and I think Duncan was from another country.
Yeah, he was from the.
He's going to delegate to his assistant. I'm just saying, you want a guy to get good coaching. That's my whole point.
Right.
You don't want some clown that just comes in. He was a player last week, and now you want somebody to kind of work with him and get the right coaching. Man, it's okay.
Was he from Barbados? He was from a Caribbean island. I can't remember.
Who?
Duncan.
I think so.
Barbados?
I know he went to Wake Forest in college, though.
I'm sorry?
He went to Wake Forest.
Yeah, he went to Wake.
Yeah.
That was like one of the only runs they ever had.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Yep. Wake Forest has had their share of players. They had, Chris Paul went to Wake Forest. I mean, that's all in North Carolina. Duke, Wake Forest, NC State. There's some ballers down there, man.
I mean, they end up there. But
yeah, they end up there. It's a lot of basketball. Okay, switching gears here. What's your thoughts on? I heard you and Keith talking about the Mets earlier.
Yeah.
What was Verlander getting booed off the mound for? I haven't followed the NL East. What's the story there, man?
Well, like the Mets fans are getting frustrated. The owners spent a lot of money on the pitching. The pitching hasn't been up to par. A lot of injuries, often injured older guys, right? That's going to happen anyways, which is why I myself wasn't too thrilled about getting these players. One last year, and then this year they got Verlander. So, that's just going to happen, though. These are guys who are older, and it's baseball, and it's
How long is he going to be out?
Who, Verlander?
Yeah, was he hurt?
Yeah, this is the first time he pitched. This is the first week he pitched for the Mets.
Oh,
so
wow.
he had just
he's shelled.
Yeah, he's just coming back. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's.
Well, they're 6 games back. It's still May.
Yeah, I mean.
From Atlanta. I mean,
another thing that doesn't help is that not only has the pitching been like with these pitchers being injured, but also like they've had injuries in their catching. So they brought in Gary Sanchez from former player of the Yankees and the Twins.
Okay.
Like, he's played for 3 other teams now. Like they brought him in, and he's probably supposed to be starting tonight. I was actually going to go to the game tonight, but I ended up selling the tickets. I mean, I have other.
What'd you sell them to?
I just put them through the SeatGeek, and then
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
But I have prior commitments today and tomorrow, so I won't be able to be there, like just getting sloshed or being booing or whatever, So, but I got rid of tickets, and he's supposed to start tonight, Gary Sanchez, and and I don't know. I mean, he's been on 4 teams. He didn't last there long.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the Mets were expecting, just maybe giving him opportunity. I'm okay with people getting second chances, but this guy, I think one of the things for Gary Sanchez when he was playing for the Yankees was his attitude. Like, it's, and like, you're a catcher and people need catching, but he just had an attitude where
Pickles thinks they're washed up. Did they make the same mistake they did in 2002 with guys like Mo Vaughn and Tom Glavine?
Mo Vaughn was before Glavine.
No, they came. I watched them. They both played. Remember in 2002, man?
I mean, I think Mo Vaughn was.
No, they were there. I watched them.
Mo Vaughn was there. He was there. But he didn't play but 10 games.
He didn't play that much. He was too big.
He just had a back problem. So
I seen him hit a home run though.
Here's the thing.
But he wasn't what the Mets expected.
And it kind of irks me, but it's just the mentality of baseball and the way that these players get their contract. Baseball is like the only contracted type of situation where you get paid for what you did in the past. So, you're paying for these guys. Pickles, you say they're washed up. They might have a little bit more game in them.
What is Max doing right now?
I'm sorry?
What is Max, whatchamacallit, doing?
Throwing up cupcakes. But no, but like, Max Scherzer, Verlander, they're often injured, but that happens because of their age. And they're going to have, I think the idea is to have them like even last year when DeGrom didn't play.
Crunch time.
I was like, just keep him for the end. If they got 5 games left in the year, just make sure that it's a playoff game. Or
Do you think they'll make a move at the trade deadline?
To get rid of these guys, the Mets?
No, just any moves, period.
They
got to bring in some depth at pitching or what? Relief pitching?
Probably left field and maybe try to find a catcher and maybe maybe another hitter. But, I mean, I think there's still about 10, 15 more games till they'll make a real decision. I'm sure they got lists.
Yeah, the trade deadline not till like July. It's usually
it's not. No, but once you get towards Memorial Day, you'll see that you'll have an understanding of what you got and what moves you want to make. So. Yeah,
and I will say this, Pickles. I did read this from Buster Olney. He's still at ESPN in that same division. Ronald Acuna Jr. 40 runs. That's first in the majors. 58 hits, first in the majors. 613 slugging percentage, first in the majors. OPS, first in the majors.
Who's that?
Total bases, first. adjusted OPS. I don't even know what that means. First, and he's first in steals. What did he have a torn ACL last year or something?
Yeah. Who are you talking about?
Ron Acuna for the Atlanta Braves.
Who? No,
Ron Acuna Jr.
No, I'm playing with you. No, I know. No, he's always been a good player.
Yeah, but he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's being great right now. I'm glad that he's getting over his injury. I hate that he's on the Braves, but
well, it's in the same division, and they're leading by 6.
But I feel, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I like it when these guys who are on the roster who are stars are playing like stars. Yeah. I like it because then you go in no matter what team you're at, whether you're a Dodgers fan, Mets fan, no matter, you want the best out of everybody playing. You don't want to go to a game and there's like 4 all-stars that are injured and you're sitting there and you're seeing all these kids come up who have very little experience and you're just like, man, like this game is going to take longer than it should, or it's not going to be as exciting, or you don't know, but but you have to give younger people an opportunity. That's true, but sometimes you want to get your money's worth and see the guys that you pay for, right? So we didn't get to see that too much of Ronald last year due to the injury in the playoffs. He was very missed. So those guys got paid by the Braves too. Pickles, look, the Braves did the smartest thing.
No, the Braves are on it. They got the young team. I thought that the Braves would probably win this division. I thought maybe the Mets would get hot at the right time and you get in as a wild card and maybe win that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the Braves, they got these kids. They signed them. Yeah. They didn't sign that third baseman. What's his name? I forget his name. Swan?
Yeah, was it last year?
Yeah, but that's good because that gives them a little bit of wiggle room. That gives them
Freeman. Was it Freeman?
No, they didn't sign Freeman, and it was Swan last year.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Was it Swan? Is that his last name?
I thought it was. I know Freddie. They lost Freddie Freeman to.
They lost Freddie Freeman the year before last.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because last year he played for the Dodgers, right? So
gotcha, yeah.
But I think Swansea something.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
Pickles will know.
Yeah,
Pickles
so
will know. Well, at least the Phillies ain't doing nothing. I didn't want to hear anything else from Jamie.
From Jimmy Paddock. I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm sure he's gonna change his mind about blowing up that Phillies team, that 76ers team.
Well, they're behind the Mets. They're one game by. Well, yeah.
The Mets have won 2 games in a row, so that helps them a little bit. Peter Alonso's been doing well. They've gotten a few hits from Lindor that Matt, so.
Yeah. Pickle says Matt Olson replaced him.
Yeah, Matt Olson replaced him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still,
it's still early. I just wanted to see. So you still think the Mets they're still going to be in this thing?
Yeah, they'll be okay, man. This is too many games right now.
Yeah.
On paper, they have a decent team. You can't depend on what's on paper, though, right? So, I think they'll be in the mix. So,
okay.
They might not.
I believe you, man. I know you. If it was bad, you would tell me because you tell me about it. The Knicks all the time. Okay, now Aaron Judge. How about this? 7 homers in 7 days.
This guy's on fire, bro.
He heats up when the weather heats up, man.
Yeah, but the weather ain't been hot at all here in New York, so I think that's why he's liking it. Because it reminds him of Northern California, man. Let me tell you,
that's true.
It's not hot here at all. We've had a few days. Mother's Day, the day before Mother's Day, when I went to the game with my son.
Yeah, you did go. What was that like? What was that experience like?
I've been there before, but for my son, I just wanted him to experience like the mecca of baseball. I wanted him to see how different it was. And he was looking around, kind of just taking it all in, and it's different.
It's different from Citi Field.
Oh yeah, it's night and day. It's just a different atmosphere. You're in the Bronx. It's how it is.
It's like a football feeling to me.
Yeah, it was like
Yankees with the Yankees. When I went there, it was loud. I felt like it was a Titans game.
Yeah, so the way the stadium is, the way where we sat, there was less people than Citi Field. They have more people where we sat in that area. So
okay,
I sat on the outfield wall. And I saw maybe I was between 5 and 20 feet of almost every home run hit in that area. So,
man,
it was crazy. Like my son was kind of mad that he
foul balls. You get close?
No, so we got close. 5 foot from us to my right was like somebody caught the ball. And my son kind of was like irritated. He left because it was hot. He left came back about
Man,
10
you're
minutes.
freezing your son to death one minute, and then you're burning him up the next.
Yeah, like no, he came back 10 minutes later, and I thought he was gonna bring me a drink because he tapped my shoulder. I thought he was gonna bring me a soda or something. He's like, "Guess what I got?" And an usher handed him a practice ball from the Yankees from earlier that day. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, because kids were getting balls left to right from the Rays and from a couple of Yankee players, and my son would every time he went up there, he would just come back with this. But luckily, usher gave him the ball, so he made an experience just kind of shot right
Hey,
up.
do you think they'll catch Tampa?
The Yankees?
Yeah. The Mets. Yeah, the Yankees.
I mean, I'm not sure because of all the stuff that's happening right now with the pitching.
Wow, Keefe is very confident they'll catch Tampa.
I mean,
because he says Tampa's got some injuries at their pitching.
Yeah, Tampa just got a few injuries. The problem is it's injury season time right now. Between now and Labor Day, so it's like you're gonna see a lot of people in and out. Some people would just want to get rest because it's a long season. But
28th in payroll, Tampa, and the Yankees are number 2. Or I think they're 2 in most payroll. The Mets are 1, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I wish the Yankees had maybe one more good starting pitcher. But the Mets are struggling right now. None of their half of their pitchers are out, so one of them's out for the season.
Yeah.
So
Pickles thinks he'll catch them. I mean, you can already see the Yankees are getting hot. I've seen the Yankees erase 8-game leads all the time.
Nothing. Yeah, but
in July, August, they seem to just heat up,
I know, Robert. I saw them play against the Yankees, man, and they weren't scared. And that's not.
Did they win the game you went to?
The Yankees did win, but they won.
Okay,
but the Rays lost it because their relief pitcher tossed a few cupcakes. But look, that team though, they pretty stout. I saw them playing, and I feel like
you saying they're playing with some swagger.
Yeah, they are, man.
They're playing like the Nuggets.
They're playing like Toronto's playing right now, which Toronto's a hot team too. So,
how many Yankee games have you been to this year?
3.
Did you see him play Toronto?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but listen, the one game with the Rays, I liked it. It was a good atmosphere. It felt like a playoff.
Yeah.
Because we know what happens is like you see these, Yankee fans, they'll go in the stadium knowing that they already won the game. And when
did you see any Rays fans in that stadium?
Oh yeah, I did for sure. Yeah, there was
Were they arguing with people and stuff?
I like that they was happy for like 4 innings because it was 6-0. I was like, there's no way the Yankees
was up 6-0?
Yeah. And I was like, there's no way the Yankees are going to catch up. And, it was like the 4th inning, the 5th inning. Then the 6th through the 7th inning, 8th inning, they're just popping, home runs left and right. I was like, okay.
That's the Yankees for you.
And I still thought they wasn't going to win. And then all of a sudden they came up and they had, Judge hit that home run. And I was,
you seen Judge hit one. Nice.
Yeah, I see. He hit 2.
Okay.
And it's
all right, roof.
He's like, if there was a roof on Yankee Stadium, it would have blown off, man. That's how hot it was.
Pickles watches MLB. I'm going to try to get back on that.
Yeah, hey, you know what? If you want to see a good kind of feeling of what the playoffs could be like, that's the game you should see.
Yeah,
for real. No, I'm serious.
Oh, you mean Tampa?
The Tampa
this division winner. Yeah,
not looking for me. Don't look for me. Watch the game. Watch the game, and it's Pickles.
Yeah, you don't get a chance to go to many Yankee games. It's across town, though, right?
Yeah, it's across town, man. It's across 3 boroughs. No. It's like it's further than I need it to be.
Yeah,
but it's only it took us maybe 35, 40 minutes to get there. So
okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Because look,
I used to live in Manhattan. It didn't take me that long, man.
No, don't. Because the thing was that I live in Queens, but I live off the 7.
Okay.
Right. So I could take the 7 Express to Grand Central, and I take the 4, 5, or 6. I could
all the way up
or
there
the 4, the 6. So I just take the 4 because it's express, and until you get to the Bronx, then it's local.
Okay.
Right. So I got there in about 45 minutes. Now I waited a little bit. I lost about almost an hour and a half because there's construction going on the 7. So, but the thing was, here's the thing: is like I wanted to go early to take my son to the museum because it's open before the game.
Yeah.
Behind where the bullpen is, and they warm up, and I didn't get the chance to go because I showed up late. So
okay.
I mean, I still showed up I was there for the game, but I just got there later than I wanted to.
Yeah, he's Pickles right. They'll probably catch them. They're still fun to watch. I don't know who's going to do what in the American League.
No, it's right now. It's starting to be a good baseball season because a lot of teams have opportunities, right?
Yeah, nobody's really injured where they're done for the year.
Right. So the small little mini races already starting to pop up, and you're like thinking, okay, so it's going to be a good, decent baseball season. And I just hope the Yankees pick up a couple more pitchers, man. That's all, Yeah. And I hope the Mets pick up a couple more players that can help them, right? So.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay. Anything else you need to plug?
Nah, man. It's like, we're here.
Serious, right? 8 p.m. Eastern every Friday.
Friday to Friday, 8 to 8. I'm not on 8 to 8. I'm on at 8 in the morning, and I'm on 8 in the evening. So I'm on 8.
And you're a big help, and I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. Who wins tonight? You saying Boston wins tonight? Now you saying does the Lakers win tomorrow? Game 3?
I don't. If the Lakers win one game, it'd probably be tomorrow.
Okay.
If they win one
game,
I
think so too. Yeah.
They might win one. I don't know though, because again, that Denver team, if they can just start lining it up a little bit sooner, then the Lakers won't have an opportunity at all, man. Because hey, look, I need to. You need to see these guys who are maxing out minutes, 10 plus, like 20 plus minutes. They're not doing anything. Russell's not doing anything. Vanderbilt's not doing anything. Schroeder's not doing anything.
Yeah, they'll do all that at home, though.
Yeah, but still, even if
I'm not a Laker fan, I'm just trying to call balls and strikes.
You're white Kobe or whatever you call him, like
hillbilly Kobe.
Hillbilly Kobe, like. I mean,
that's kind of a backhanded compliment, but anything Kobe at this point, I don't know, man.
I don't like that.
If you call me Hillbilly Tupac, I'll be like, man, I appreciate that. Dang, I could flow a little bit, but I don't know about all that.
No, but I think like guys.
Pickles says they did lose 2 at a banged up Phoenix team, so the Pickles got a pretty good point there.
Yeah, but again. The one thing that we mentioned was that it looked like that those games Jokic was not focused. Like, remember I said to you when we had that conversation about 2 weeks ago when they were playing there at Phoenix, I was like, Jokic needs to show me that he can take the team to another level.
Chance didn't really snoop. Hey, I like that. Hey, man, that's all our generation, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, like
I was listening to
Chad, man. I like that, yo.
Dog the other day. That was Dog Pound, 1993. That was 30 years ago. What's happened to time, Chief?
Bro. Let me tell you, it's just going and going. But
it's going like this, rapid. Before you know it, it's 2023. That was 30 years ago.
yo, I remember you always talk about Nashville, how like everybody should move to Nashville, and now you're like an old man screaming at somebody on their lawn, like everybody needs to get out of Nashville.
That is true. And if I could afford it, I would get out of here. Guys, I'll be back now Monday. I'm gonna give a full thought there on Jim Brown. There's a lot of stuff that
you better talk to your pops, right? Your pops watched it more than you did.
Well, no, I just know that Jim Brown's a real dude. I'm telling you this about real. Jim Brown. I've listened to a lot of I've seen documentaries on Jim Brown. I've listened to interviews with Jim Brown. I'll say this about Jim Brown. When Kobe was alive, this is when I really respect. I mean, this is mad respect. He said, the thing about Kobe, man, he says, I'll put it this way. When we had a community event to do, we didn't invite Kobe. And he was saying, as a player, Kobe was a me guy. He was a really arrogant me guy. And everybody else was saying he's the greatest thing since. Now, this was before the tragedy of Kobe.
Right.
But, Jim Brown is all business all the time. He spoke at prisons. I mean, he's not a phony. He's worked with both political parties. He's all about the cause. He's not a virtue signaler.
I got a short story for that. I worked with a lady, Miss Laura Bloom from Arkansas. She does events for ALS.
Okay.
And Jim Brown supported Miss Laura Bloom and the ALS foundations a few times. And, even when he was at his age, he was, thoughtful and kind, and like he was just real with people. And that's kind of what you want to see. Look, at the end of the day, as much as they're all-stars, athletes, brands, images, whatever you want to say about the human, they're people, that they got feelings and they do things that sometimes
some of them are good people, some are not.
And then,
actually, I would say probably most guys are pretty good guys.
Yeah, but he always
he's a standout guy.
Stand out, exactly. And a lot of people talked about him as that. So
yeah. All right, man. I'll see you probably next week there, Chief. I got this event I might go to next Friday, but of course I'll keep you updated. Hit me up tomorrow, man, if something crazy happens during that Denver game.
Yeah, watch your
great
sports,
week
guys.
This week, folks. Great
Happy
show.
Friday.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Pickles. Have a good one.
Jim Brown.